to Twist of Fate, a small business podcast where you can find your inspiration to make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. This episode was filmed in sunny San Ramon, California at the 3 Steps Forward, a marketing company headquarters here at WeWork. Today's episode is dedicated to those real estate agents that are out there. We're back on this topic to talk about how you can build your business to be sustainable, scalable, with a new solution from Kelle Solutions. Today, my guest Randall is here to talk about a new CRM platform to take your real estate brokerage or your real estate agents to the next level. Randall, welcome to Twist of Fate.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, man. This is awesome.
Kelle Solutions, if I understand, is a SaaS CRM platform particularly designed and created for the real estate agent or broker. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. We focus on agents and some teams, and eventually we'll get to the brokers and helping out agents take their business where they're feeling kind of capped because they get bogged down from so many things that we have to do, to alleviating that and helping them be able to take on more business and be able to grow.
Growth being the key word. These days, growth doesn't come easy, right? So right now we have, inflation, interest rates going up. So I think there is a need for tools. So what type of tools does Kelle Solutions software platform bring?
Yeah, so we, like you said earlier, we are the CRM part of it, but we also are bringing in automation to that CRM. So as agents, they go through their deals, they have different tasks that they do. We sometimes are doing somewhere around 150 different tasks, and we're able to automate 100 of those.
What kind of tasks? What does a real estate agent do? For the uninitiated?
For example, so if they have a new listing and they go out to the listing, as soon as they input that listing, that property into our system then sets them up with everything they need for that listing. That's paperwork, that's marketing, that's ideas for who to go after, that's client lists, it's everything that they need to start the listing and to start marketing that listing. And it just kind of prompts them all the way through. So if you have a newer agent that doesn't know what to do at all, perfect for them. Or if you have that seasoned agent that, kind of just goes through the steps, but they have an admin that helps them, boom, right there. It shows them everything that they want to do to be their best, and it sets them up for that.
You have the real estate agent road warrior that's been hitting the sticks and doing the house demos, and then you have a new real estate agent. Let's talk about both of them. Right. So, long time ago, you were a new real estate agent. Am I correct?
Yes, long time ago. And I struggled through the process of knowing what to do, right? You go to a brokerage and they say, oh, come to us, we'll help you. We have all this technology. We know what we're doing. And you get there and you go through some education, and then they say, go do your stuff. And you're like, oh, well, I didn't learn how to be a business owner. I didn't realize that this actually was a business. I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur. Yeah, you get hit in the face pretty hard. So,
gut punch. Right?
Yeah, gut punch, yeah.
Where did you start doing real estate?
I started a local company called Lion Real Estate.
What territory? Where?
Sacramento. So I was starting in the Tomas, the track homes, very cookie cutter homes. I started there because you could pick it up pretty fast. Everything's similar, and you're not going out and getting these crazy $1 million homes. So I was starting there so I could get the hang of it, figure it out. And, that was just something that I wanted to do. But I realized that even if I knew what everything with the house, I didn't really know how to do anything else with the business or what happens afterwards. If I get a house, if I get someone that's interested in going to a listing appointment with me, letting me walk in their house, great, okay. I don't know what to do.
But you felt that the brokerage would teach you?
I did. I thought that going there to the brokerage, because there was a big emphasis on training, right? But I didn't realize what that training was. That training was about the contracts and making sure there was more compliance and ethics situations going on, right? That I was staying up on that, not necessarily on being the business or growing the business or putting myself out there, branding myself in any way.
Was there any automation or CRM tools from the brokerage?
No. What we got was access to like transaction management stuff, but that's only one piece.
After you're already succeeded, but
Right.
you won't get to that point if you
Right.
don't have some help.
Right. So, I started there and I was realizing that, okay, there's a piece here, but I'm looking for more. So I stayed with that training and I pushed that training and I pushed myself to just keep going out there, just keep doing, like they give you things of go door knock, go make some cold calls, go hit up your sphere of influence, see who needs to sell their house. But, to some extent that doesn't work for everybody. And it didn't really work for me. I wasn't big on calling up my friends and my family every day to be like, yo, who was the last person you met did they want to sell a house? Like, who have you talked to lately? I started looking for something more, and I went to another brokerage that the brokerage I went to was focused around successful agents that already have a business. And they said, okay, we can take your business from here. We'll give you all the tools to get you to here. Well, they didn't. It was one of those you walk in, they show you the pretty lights, but then then the lights fade after you get into there and you realize, okay, this is all they have is a CRM. There's nothing else after that. It's not helping my business. It's not allowing me or showing me how to 3 times what I'm doing.
They didn't provide leads either, right? Like it's not like you still have to create the contacts and you have to do all that.
Exactly. They brokers will say that they can provide you leads, but usually what that means is like they are a big, at least with where I was with the bigger brokerage, they have this massive following and this name. So their leads is people that call them, right? And then you're in this round robin, so whoever gets there first gets a lead. We were focused on their technology and helping us grow, right? We wanted to take what we already knew, put it into something that they had or what they said they had to then grow our business, using technology to grow our business. And we also wanted to be able to grow our business to grow a team.
Mm-hmm. So this is interesting. So at the start of your journey, you were this inexperienced real estate agent. And then, you took some gut punches. And then later you became a more experienced real estate agent, right? Just curious in that transformation, was your needs for tools, did you see it evolving, or your needs at that point when you're ready to start growing, you're starting to figure things out, you're starting to get your contact base? How did your own transformation happen there?
Yeah, we didn't start our own thing until we went off onto our own brokerage. So when I was at brokerage A going to brokerage B, I didn't have any system set up. I was just hitting the ground and just kind of forcing it and just keeping track on my phone with text messages or whatever notes that I kept. And I was realizing that when I was at the first brokerage, I was hitting my ceiling there. I wasn't seeing where I could then, I think I was doing like 10, 12 deals a year at that point, which is not a lot. But I didn't see with them anywhere to go up. Like I could see, I knew what I needed to go up, and at least what I thought was systems and finding a broker that could provide those systems for me. So my struggle was knowing that I needed it and looking for it. And then when I went to the next brokerage that said they had all those things for me, we got there and fell on our face a little bit because the technology that they had, it didn't advance me. It didn't enhance what I was already doing. So I could keep up with on my notes and my texting and my emailing just on my phone. I didn't need anything else that they provided, even though I thought that I did. And it wasn't that what they were offering was terrible. It just didn't advance me, or didn't feel like it was going to advance my business.
How do you know you're building the right thing? What was your guys' process to say these are the key features that we need to focus on? And did you have to kind of, was it alphabet soup? You had to try a few things and then change it around later?
Starting at brokerage A, when I was doing all my complaining, right? I was complaining loud enough that I had some friends that were hearing me, right? Some good agents that were producing, and they're like, yeah, you know what? That is a problem. I don't do anything with that. And I was like, okay, so what do you use as your system? You're doing 50 deals a year. What do you do? Oh, I use Excel. Use Excel? How are you keeping track of anything? I get Excel. If you know how to use Excel, it can be great, but I don't know how to use Excel. So I noticed that, and then I went out and I started asking more agents. Like, okay, what do you use? Who has something that you're actually using? And no one could tell me what they were using. If they said, okay, our brokerage offers something, but we don't use that. We actually use product X. Like, we just went out and we found something. Well, do you like it? No. We started with it. We put all of our information in there, and then we haven't done anything with it. Like, are you paying for that? Like, yeah, we are. Like, oh, okay. So we knew that there was a problem. And so once we figured out that there was indeed a problem, just more than my own complaining, we started sitting down and like, okay, so if there was something that you would use, what would you use? What do you use Excel for? What do you use? Like, do you care if the system doesn't respond to you? Do you only want to put it in? So if you put it in, and if you put in, say that you have a new listing, and it set you up with everything that you wanted to do, would you use it? Yeah, I would. Okay. So also, if you put in a new contact and you could link that new contact to their house that they own and to other people, and it would tell you when everybody's birthday was in the household, would you put your people in there? Yeah, I would. Yeah, and it would remind you of your client's anniversary date from when they bought the house. Okay, that sounds like something I would use. Like, okay, so then we just started breaking it down little pieces, and you know, can you find some of these things out there? Sure, but but you're still inputting that information into that one system, and then you have to input the information into another system. It's just...
And it may be enterprise oriented too. Like I think a lot of them are more targeting like the brokerages, and like it's not a, hey agent, let me show you how to grow your business. It's not that.
No, it's not. Yeah, an agent's not big enough for them, and it's going to cost them too much money, and in the end they won't end up doing it. Like, okay, so let's build something that an agent will use, and like that they can afford, and that not only can they afford it, but they can actually see how it will grow their business.
Yeah. You're going to impact the industry, my friend.
I hope so. I would love to. Just because at the end of the day, I know that if I can make that positive impact into the agents will make that positive impact into their clients. And then the clients will be happy about their transaction, or about their process, about the house that they bought or they sold. It all comes full circle with happiness and optimism and, you know, pushing forward.
It's one thing to identify a problem. It's another thing to complain about it. Okay. It takes a special soul to say, I'm going to do something about it. Like, how did you guys even start at the beginning? Like, it's like, okay, like, did you guys brainstorm? Like, I'm saying the start of the journey. Like, how did you get started?
So I would complain during the day and then go into my bat cave at night, and I have notebooks of this stuff. Processes, transitions, things that I liked, things that I wanted to see, and just wonder if it worked. Like, I have notebooks of that. I have pieces of paper on the wall. I have pictures from like years ago. I have pictures because as soon as I got into it, I was like, this could be better. I wanted to do this. And yeah, that's how I started. I just took all of these, I guess you could consider it wireframing, but on a non-technical side, right? We're pen and paper. This is notebook stuff. This is notes. You know, I have typed stuff on the computer, but for the most part, it was just putting all of my thoughts into pictures that I could. And the only way I knew how to do it, because I didn't know how to use a computer basically at that time, but now I do, was putting it in, drawing them out. I want it to look like this, and then when it goes like this, I hit this, it goes to this. I hit this, it goes to this. That's what we did. And then I had enough pieces of paper that I took it to my business partner and I said, take a look at this, I want to do it. And he was like, no, we're not going to do it. I'm like, no, we're going to do it, and then we're going to do it, and we're going to make our own brokerage with it. So he was like, he took some time, he went through it, and, you know, realized, okay, that is all you're complaining in one spot. Like, you actually just did something. You didn't just complain to me about it, right? You did something with it. And now, so we have this product. I think this will work. Let's go do it. And then we took that, and he has a friend that does development, and we took it to him and convinced him to come out of retirement to help us build. But yeah, it started with me designing, and then it took some relationships and some relationship building, and now we're here.
Twist of Fate will be right back.
Trying to do everything yourself? How's that going for you? 3 Steps Forward is a full-service marketing agency that takes the weight off entrepreneurs and helps them follow through on their ideas. Step up your personal brand, boost your web presence, and elevate your business with our team of marketing experts. Are you ready to reinvent your business? Schedule a consultation today. Visit our website at 3stepsforward.com.
Welcome back to Twist of Fate.
So then you got to a point where you had enough success that you decided to become a broker yourself and probably address some of the gaps that existed for either the early stage broker or agent or a more experienced agent. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that's exactly what happened. So back at Brokerage A, I met a really cool guy. We became business partners at Brokerage, and then we've been business partners ever since. We're going on 8 years together.
Oh
wow. So he listened to me complain for like 4 years, like this. There's nothing out here. I can't do this. I need this. I want this. And he'd tell me, go find it. I'm like, I can't find it. I've been looking. We've been looking. I can't find this. I can call up a broker and they could tell me, yeah, they have it. But I would always see that it was going to fall short. So then, after being at Brokerage B for a little bit and suffering through our ceiling, right? We just kind of kicked the door down and like forced ourselves to keep going, right? But we were always still missing something. I would get to one point, I would get to the point where I'd have multiple deals going on and I'd just be focusing on those deals. And I would forget about the beginning again because I would be so completely bogged down.
Trying to close. You want to close. Basically.
Close, yeah. I'm getting stuck up with paperwork. I'm getting stuck with all these kinds of things.
Never mind that there's new people that they're starting their journey, right? Like you still got to talk to them, right?
Yeah. So I realized even with success, I was still doing the roller coaster ride. I was still feast or famine. There wasn't enough out there for me. I wasn't finding it where I needed it. And it wasn't, so my sense of growing
and
the
business. And the market challenges, subprime was over then. It was, things were starting to really lift, right?
Yeah. This is all during COVID too. So like a little bit before COVID and then COVID, of course, like, shoot, that was a crazy time and that was hard in its own sense, right? Not forcing, but if you want the house, you're going to pay. You're going to pay a lot of money for that house.
It went some of the highest levels we've ever seen.
Yeah, they still are. Yeah. Even they're coming down a little bit, but like that's very area specific. And, I would definitely reach out to a local broker and don't listen to the news all so much because, in Sacramento, we're only maybe dropping like 10 grand. Like it's not a lot. But there's good deals out there.
And even how you show a house or a listing changed, right? Like this virtual stuff started, right? Like virtual showings.
Exactly. So we, you got forced into some more technology and forced into using different products, but they weren't readily available by who you were with. So the struggle. Luckily for us, we started, so we're in our second year as our brokerage. So we kind of caught the tail end and took what we had built through COVID and started our own brokerage and kind of hit the ground running with it. And, the point of all of starting the brokerage was to take all those complaints I've had for years and build something that agents actually wanted, that they would use to advance their career, that they wouldn't have this. Because they could, even if they
feast or famine is what you call it.
Yes, the feast or famine. Even if they have, 10 deals going on at one time, which is a lot, and that creates so many different hurdles that you have to go over, right? But if
it's good problems, but if you don't address it properly, you're not going to scale efficiently. Right?
Correct. Yeah, it's like entrepreneurs when they're growing their business, right? They have a certain amount of revenue and they want to 3 times it. Like, okay, how do you do that? I'm stuck here. I feel like I'm stuck. real estate agents, they are an entrepreneur. They are their own business. A lot of them don't realize it, when they get into it. Even our own agents, they come to us and they're like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize that this was all me. You're not just handing me something to like go show homes. You're not just giving this to me. Well, no.
I think it's a common misunderstanding of the trade, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, each one is their own business. Even if you work for a broker, you're still your own business, right? You carry their flag, you carry their marketing, but you are your own business, and you need to go out and get it. And when the new agents were coming to us, and they're just starting their careers, and they kind of have their hands out, like, yeah, here you go, here's your high five. Now they get it started, and here's the steps that you can do that. And we actually have one of our more seasoned agents. She came to us and she was like, "You're the first brokerage that said do these 4 things first, and then you can start doing your real business. If you don't set these up, then you won't have any of this."
So like you, she's been burned before, right? Clearly she went to some other brokerage and just didn't find the guidelines to success.
Right. Well, she actually didn't. Our brokerage is the first one she joined, but she interviewed at a bunch. And they just all promised her flowers, right? These great fields of glory. And we were like, nah, it's hard. You need to come at it with a different mindset and be ready to go. And part of what we wanted to show her and anyone else is that, there's so much grit that you have to put into it, but technology can help you.
Yeah.
You'll be good for 2 weeks, and then you'll be like, yeah, I got it. Deals are coming in. And then what do? You forget about the front line. You forget about those leads. You forget about what you're doing. And that's where our technology comes in.
Twist of Fate will be right back.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur? Are you seeking to reinvent yourself? Change can be difficult, but achievable with planning, passion, and optimism. Start listening to a small business podcast called Twist of Fate that brings together business leaders in a dialogue about how to make dreams reality. Twist of Fate is sponsored by 3 Steps Forward, a marketing company, and hosted by entrepreneur, founder, and CEO Doug Younger. Inspire your own Twist of Fate streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
Welcome back to Twist of Fate.
You went to UC Davis, right?
I did. I went to UC Davis. I actually was a Division I athlete for them. I was on the...
I heard this. Yeah. You're a wrestler.
I was. Yeah.
You don't look as big as you probably were back then, right?
I weighed less and I was a lot bigger. So yeah.
Interesting. You eat a whole chicken and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Those, you go into those dining commons and it was all you could eat, man. You get big fast.
So, which means deep down inside you're a competitor.
Oh, 100%.
Look at your reaction.
I'm first. I want to be first. Yeah.
Okay. How does this idea start that you want to be a real estate agent? You went from D1 athlete, UC Davis, you graduate. What was the catalyst? So what inspired you to go into real estate?
I went into real estate for my family. So when I was in college, I had my first kid. So I immediately was like, I need to figure something out because here's my first kid and I don't know anything. I have nothing. And I had a good friend at the time who was living down in Hollywood and he was killing it in real estate. And he was like, you should try it. Just get into it right now while you're in school and, see if it works. So I did and I hated it. I hated it. I was like,
because of the reasons that we talked about, right? It's kind of a chaotic process.
Right. There was no process. So like I did an internship with somebody and the internship was terrible. The guy I just sat in front of a computer and reposted listings all day. Like that's not real estate. And that's not what I wanted to do. So I actually started working for the California USA Wrestling. They're a nonprofit. And I was helping them do their events and certain things like that. And then I started my own nonprofit because I was like, oh, nonprofit, I can do that. So I started.
That's not easy either, Randall. That's hard stuff.
Yeah, that was really hard. I did that for a few years. I actually got backstage pass to New York Yankees. It it was a really cool thing. It was called Bounce, and it was about bringing people back from some type of tragedy. So if they went through a cancer and that they thought they were not going to make it, and they did, a lot of times they come back and, you know, their life is a lot different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, so anyway,
Good on you. Good on you. This big positive social impact.
Right. So we jump in there and try and help them bounce back and recover. And but that was hard. You know, nonprofit work was not easy,
And you still had a little one
I did.
that's growing. So
Yeah.
the need to monetize, you got to get out there, right?
Right. So that wasn't as much as I loved it, as much as I loved doing those things for people, I wasn't necessarily providing the way I thought I should for my family. So the same friend that he was still killing it down in Hollywood, still is killing it. He's out in Atlanta now, but he was still killing it. He came up to visit and he was like, "Give it a try. Give it another try. This is what you do, and this is how you can build your wealth." And he just showed me, you know, buy the house, do all these things, get the investments, and he was showing me different ways that he does it. And so I gave it another try. I went back out. I found the local broker that was promising me the trainings because I wanted to focus on that. And then, you know, I got into it, and then I found my next problem. And the next problem was the technology and growing your business and you know, showing the world that you are number one.
You weren't a software developer. You weren't a SaaS player. You know, you had started your own business in real estate, but not as technology solution.
Right.
But you found an unmet need.
Yes.
And you believed enough in it
Yeah.
that you and your co-founders got together and said, let's make this thing.
Yeah.
Now that's a bold move. That's a big step, right?
Yeah. I actually convinced our developer, our system architect, he calls himself. He's not just a developer, he's a system architect. I actually pulled him out of retirement to do this. I convinced him that it was worth coming back out of retirement and doing this and showing a different product for the industry. And he had been in the industry in the past, and he was like, I remember this problem from when I was working with this other brokerage, you know. I was like, okay, cool. Now let's fix it. Like, let's fix this problem.
Yeah. Because to the CRM uninitiated, when I say that, it's customer relationship management. And there's a lot of different tools out there. So some of you that are entrepreneurs already know MailChimp, Constant Contact, even in real estate, there's Lions Desk. There's just like a ton of solutions out there. Right. But to your point, there was never, well, this is how I feel. I don't know if there's a made by real estate agents for real estate agents, right? That's kind of unique to the category.
Yeah, there's a couple out there, but the thing that differentiates us is that we are not a manual process. So once you put us in, we are going to do things for you and guide you down the way. It's all AI, right? So the AI is doing that. And brokers out there and team leads, don't get worried. It's all based off of your requirements and things that you want the agents to do. It's not just us throwing it out there, although we can for you if you want. But it's very specific to what you need. All these
so like a broker house could modify certain processes so it meets their custom tailored needs for agents, right?
Yeah, and that's easy. Yeah, but the current ones out there, they're either they're too complicated because of the average age of an agent is like 56, something like that. So they don't always want to spend the time to look at the CRM, look through it. How's it going to help me? What am I doing with all these things? But if they know I go to this one page and I input the information into this one page and it tells me everything I need to do, they're showing that they
productivity gain. It's just going to be pure productivity gain, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be more efficient.
Correct.
This is great. So then, where are you with the development of your platform? It's available, right? People can go to KelleSolutions.com, right?
They can go to KelleSolutions.com, and where we're at right now is a full relationship management system. We are looking at there's different document management companies out there that we're doing some APIs with, and as we build our own. So our product suite right now is very specific to relationship management, and then anything else that an agent already has that they like, we can input into our system very easily. And then it's all going to connect with itself. So
Excellent.
The minute you get the lead, it's going to connect, right? It's going to connect to the document management when that lead turns into an actual transaction, and we're the facilitator of that.
And then in terms of some of the next steps of where you want to go? You already have machine learning integrated. You already have AI integrated. Are you raising funds now? How are you going to scale? Like, what's the long-term planning?
Yeah, so we are actually looking to raise right now. And we actually want to expand our AI introductions into the system because we want to be able to do some of the minor things up front with leads for the agents, and we want to keep growing our AI and be able to do more and more, right? Because it's going to create more automation. It's going to create something that's better for agents, and in the long run, when it's better for agents, it's better for people, for consumers, for clients that are looking to purchase. But yeah, we're raising right now.
Pre-seed, seed, Series A, Series B, Series C. Where are you guys at?
We're seed right now. So
seed.
We've all been self-funded this far. Everything is in-house. It's all coded in-house.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Randall, I think there's a lot of listeners in my community that are thinking in real estate and potentially thinking to create solutions to unique problems. Is there any situations or setbacks or gut punches that really resonate with you that you would recommend to them? Like, this is something that I learned or something I saw from a challenge you faced?
So right now, like one of the biggest gut punches, just be ready for it. And in the current market is that it's changing, right? That agents are reducing a lot. So if you're building a product, focus on a product that they need, that they will use, that they have to use, right? That's what we are. We're not an addition to what you're using, right? We're not like, hey, if you buy us, you might get this, right? We are what you use, and when you use us the right way, and you use us by inputting your data, we will help you by getting you more clients, alleviating your stress, and opening up your ceiling. Yeah. So that's what I would say. If you're gonna go out, find the product, something that they're using now, or if you have some longevity in you, the market's going to flip, people will come back, and if there's you see a long-term solution, don't be afraid to go for it.
So you're an optimist. You're still an optimist.
I am. Even in today's
inflation
market,
doesn't shake you up.
No. Even in today's market. So just like as an example, I had 3 listings at the start of January. One had been on the market for 100 days. Just it needs work. It needs updating.
That's a long time, though.
Yeah, it is a long time. And we put it on right when interest rates were like 7%. It was like the worst time. But it's
for my audience, why does a listing stay up a long time period? Is it the price you list is too high? There's not enough buyers. There's other things happening. Like why does that happen?
Yeah, so it depends. A lot of times it's usually price. In our case, we went on the market, and in the next 3 weeks, it was just interest rate raises right away. and our clients are good. It was a probate, so the family was selling it. They're out of area.
So it's not like they're using it for housing. They're
not
living in it.
Yeah.
So they were willing to sit on it.
Yeah, and they didn't need to rush on it. And we lowered the price and we offered out some incentives, and it still sat. And it's because it needed work. But anyway, we had that one at the start, and then we had another one that we had just listed, fully up. It was completely updated, oversized lot, pool, everything was done. It was nice. It was exactly what people are looking for as a property. And then we had a third property, which was a historic home, and it had some updating on it, but the outside, because it's historic, there's certain things you can do and can't do, so you can't really turn it into a modern if you want to keep it in the historic, which they did. So we have these 3 listings. All of them, they were all on the market and starting in January. Before we were finishing January, we had them all in contract, and they all had multiple offers. So it's. I'm an optimist because I see things like that. Like when the national news is telling you that the market is terrible and that you shouldn't buy. Like, well, we got multiple offers on 3 different properties in 3 different sub areas of Sacramento in 3 different conditions. I mean, you have to be optimistic at that point, right? It's like are buyers coming back? Is what's the market doing? And it's because we can get good deals.
And that means, you're a fan of California real estate, right?
I am.
You saw this exodus that
Yeah.
people went to Texas and things like that.
I did, yeah.
did you experience that in Sacramento real estate? Like, have you, as your brokerage house, did you see?
Heck no, all you San Francisco people, Bay Area,
We're moving up to you. Are you saying something, Randall? Maybe I should become your neighbor? Like,
yes, of course. No, yeah, we didn't see too much of it. Of course, there was some of that, but the majority of what we saw was actually the Bay Area coming to us because we offer a lot for what you can get on price.
A couple things. If some of my listeners are sold on California real estate, right? If they want to get in touch with you, Randall, or the Kelle Solutions brokerage, how do they do that? Well, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, so our brokerage is Stoker & Watts. So you can go to stokerandwatts.com. You can reach out to me on there. Or if you go to Kelle Solutions and you fill out the little form on the bottom too, reach out to me that way. Or you can hit me up on my cell, 916-259-8158. Send me a text, shoot me a call, and we can talk all things real estate, whether it's about Kelle or just the market, I'm always happy to talk about it.
You like that. You have a passion for it. I
Yes.
see it.
Yes.
So to those out there, first time home buyers, or if you want to change some things up, definitely reach out to Randall. But then for the real estate agents or brokerage houses, you're saying they go to kellesolutions.com.
Yeah. Look at our product, see what it does. Call us up about it, get a demo going, whatever you want.
I was gonna say there is a demo or a trial license or something.
Yeah. So we can do that for them. Yep, absolutely. We actually have some pilots going on now with some bigger brokerages checking us out. So yeah, if you're for a bigger brokerage and you want to try it out, yeah, we'll do a pilot. Let's go for it. Let's get some agents on there. Let's get some different ages in there, seeing how they use it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm willing to put up my product to the test because as an athlete, that's what you do.
I was gonna say you're a competitor. I already know you want to take them on.
I do. I want you to challenge me. I want you to challenge us because if we're not willing to be challenged, then how can we learn? How can we grow? How can we adapt? How can I show you what we can do, and how can you show me what you want? Right?
Yeah.
Got to be out there.
Well, no, Randall, thanks for coming on Twist of Fate. This is a good segue to my final thoughts. What you can see here from this story of real estate newbie becomes real estate experience, which becomes a broker. First of all, that to me is the transition of the American dream. And the optimism, what you see from Randall, I hope you take away as a theme for this episode. You have to be forever optimistic if you're going to be an entrepreneur. In this case, Randall's competitive spirit has brought forth a new technology solution that can make the life of a real estate agent or a buyer easier through automation, AI, machine learning, and that's progressive. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Share, like, subscribe, join our Patreon. You see, we want to get all this content out there and these amazing stories of entrepreneurs making their dreams come true with passion, planning, and optimism. With that, I leave you for the next Twist of Fate.
Twist of Fate is hosted by Doug Younger. It's produced by John Lundvid and Matthew Brown at Ezo Creative. Moni Yu designs our graphics. Our theme music is by Jamie Bathgate. Special thanks to all of our patrons. You can support the show by visiting patreon.com/twistoffate podcast. Thanks for listening.